My friends, I once believed strength was everything. In my younger days, I trained relentlessly, day after day, convinced that the power of a man lay in the perfection of his movements. I spent years hardening my fists, conditioning my body, and mastering every technique. Each punch, every kick refined to a razor-sharp edge. I lived for the thrill of combat, the sweet rush of victory, and the certainty that my strength could overcome any foe. But one moment shattered everything I thought I knew. It was a night when I pushed my body beyond its limits, when exhaustion mingled with clarity, and a silent, unyielding truth emerged. The real battle is not fought against the man standing before you. No, the deadliest opponent is that insidious voice within, whispering doubt, fear, and impossibility. At that moment I understood that what we call strength, when measured only in muscle and might, is nothing more than an illusion. True power comes from within, from the mastery of the mind. This realization, my friends, would forever alter my journey. I remember a time when I believed that every drop of sweat and every bruise was a testament to my strength. I pursued physical perfection with an intensity that bordered on obsession. Every morning before the sun rose, I would be at the training hall, punching through the silence, each strike a declaration of my will. I thought that if I could perfect my technique, I would be invincible. If my body could achieve perfection, nothing could defeat me. Yet there came a fight, one that would forever haunt my memory. I was a young man of barely 18, filled with raw ambition and untested fury. My opponent that day was neither the strongest nor the most skilled, yet I was driven by a burning need to prove myself. I unleashed every technique I had learned, every piece of physical prowess I had honed through years of rigorous training. I fought with the precision of a machine and the force of a raging storm, and I won. But victory did not taste as sweet as I had imagined. In the silence after the crowd's cheer faded, I felt a hollow emptiness. Despite the physical triumph, something deep within me was shattered. My fists, though perfectly hardened, had been guided by a mind clouded with anger. I had let my emotions master me instead of mastering them. It was then I realized your toughest opponent isn't the one in front of you in the ring. It is the doubts and the insecurities that reside in your own heart. This experience taught me that there is a conflict between physical strength and mental mastery. The strength I had worked so hard to build was, in its raw form, superficial. Without the discipline of the mind, even the most perfected physical technique is destined to crumble when faced with inner turmoil. In that moment of hollow victory, I understood that true power is forged not solely by the body, but by the mind that controls it. Many of you, like I once did, have come to believe that strength is the ultimate answer. You see physical power as a tool, a means to control situations, to overpower challenges, and to impose your will on the world. You invest countless hours in the gym, pushing your body to its limits, seeking to build a fortress of muscle around your vulnerabilities. But let me share a truth. No matter how strong you become, fear, doubt, and hesitation have a way of paralyzing you. I have witnessed many warriors admired for their physical might crumble in the face of a mental battle. They throw punches with all their might, but when confronted with the enemy of uncertainty, their strength becomes meaningless. There is a trap in relying solely on physical power, a trap that blinds us to the reality that true strength is not measured by the force of our blows, but by the clarity of our inner vision. In our culture, strength is often exalted as the hallmark of success. We idolize the bodybuilder, the fighter, the hero whose image is carved in stone. Yet beneath that veneer lies a dangerous misconception. Strength as you see it can become a barrier, a false belief that leads to rigidity, a refusal to adapt, a failure to see beyond the limitations of the physical form. It is an illusion that seduces us into thinking that by accumulating more muscle and power, We can conquer all challenges. I once met many men and women who, despite their remarkable physical capabilities, were imprisoned by their own inner demons. Their minds were filled with the residue of past failures, with fears that whispered of limitations and impossibility. They had built a fortress of strength around themselves, yet this fortress was nothing but an illusion, for it could not shield them from the internal battles that raged within. In the end, the true adversary was not an external enemy. It was the very notion that strength, as they understood it, was the measure of a man's worth. One fateful day, as the weight of my convictions pressed upon me, I encountered a moment of vulnerability that reshaped my entire philosophy. It was a time when life forced me to confront my own limitations. A moment when physical power could no longer be my sole refuge. I suffered an injury, a severe blow to my back that rendered me bedridden for months. In that period of forced stillness, when I was stripped of my ability to train and fight, I experienced a profound transformation. As I lay in darkness, isolated from the world of physical combat, I was left alone with my thoughts. It was during these long, silent hours that I began to see the flaws in my previous beliefs. I had accumulated years of knowledge, techniques, and power, yet I realized that I had also built a mind crowded with rigid ideas and unyielding conviction. My beliefs, much like a cup filled to the brim, could hold no more wisdom. I recalled the lesson of the overflowing cup, a lesson taught to me by a wise tea master long ago. The tea master had once poured tea into my cup until it overflowed, his calm voice declaring, "Your cup is full. You must empty your mind to receive true wisdom." I had been furious then, unable to accept that I, Bruce Lee, could be so limited by my own perceptions. But in that moment of vulnerability, as my body lay broken and my mind roiled with despair, I finally understood. My predetermined stances, my fixed positions, my entire notion of strength were not truths but illusions that blocked my growth. I had been so intent on accumulating power that I had forgotten to nurture the mind that controlled it. This moment of enlightenment was not born of physical triumph, but of an inner journey. It taught me that the true path to power lies not in the accumulation of brute strength, but in the understanding and mastery of one's inner self. I realized that by letting go of the rigid beliefs that once defined me, I could open myself to a deeper, more profound source of power. It was a painful, humbling lesson. The realization that what I had always considered strength was nothing more than an illusion, a mirage obscuring the real power that resided within. In the days that followed my injury, as I slowly rebuilt my strength, I began to explore a new understanding of power, a unity of mind and body that transcended mere physicality. I discovered that real power is not about force. It is about alignment. It is the perfect synchronization of thought and motion, the union of the body's capabilities with the clarity of a focused mind. I turned to nature for inspiration, and I found my greatest teacher in water. Water is formless, adaptable, and yet immensely powerful. It takes on the shape of any container and flows with an effortless grace that belies its strength. When water encounters an obstacle, it does not crash against it with brute force. It simply finds a way around, carving its path slowly but relentlessly, until even the hardest stone yields. In this simple, ever-changing element, I saw the embodiment of true power. I began to apply this principle to my own life. In combat, when an opponent's strength threatened to overwhelm me, I learned to adapt like water. When he struck high, I flowed low. When he was rigid, I became fluid. I let go of the need to match force with force, and instead allowed my body to respond naturally, intuitively, and with the silent confidence of water finding its way through a narrow passage. In doing so, I experienced a transformation. My movements became more than a series of techniques. They became an expression of a deeper, unified force, a force that was born of the harmony between mind and body. I recall a particular bout when this understanding made all the difference. Facing an opponent whose power was overwhelming, I was tempted to rely on the brute strength I had always valued. But in that critical moment, I remembered the lesson of water. Instead of resisting, I surrendered to the flow of the encounter. I let my body move naturally, without the interference of overthinking or preconceptions. And as if guided by an unseen force, I adapted to every strike and every maneuver he threw at me. My movements became as fluid as a river, and in that fluidity I found the strength to overcome him. That victory was not won by muscle alone, but by the profound union of body and mind. This was the true source of power, a power that arises not from the rigid accumulation of strength, but from the ability to adapt, to be formless, to be like water. It is a reminder that physical might, when divorced from mental clarity, is but a shadow of what true power can be. Real strength is the art of aligning your inner vision with every action, of letting your body express the wisdom of your mind. It is an inner force that transcends the superficial and touches the essence of life itself. Understanding this truth was only the beginning. To harness this power, I had to learn to let go of my rigid ideas, of my fixed patterns, of everything that kept my mind crowded and my spirit confined. I developed practical techniques to cultivate this new state of being, techniques that would serve as daily reminders to empty my cup and let the flow of life guide me. One such practice is the mirror exercise. Every morning before the day's chaos sets in, I stand before a mirror. I do not look merely to assess my physical form, but to confront the truth of who I am. I allow myself a moment of stillness, clearing my mind of the noise and clutter that accumulates with every passing day. In that silence, I focus on a single deliberate movement, a punch, a kick, or even a simple gesture, and I feel the energy of my intention as it flows from within me. This exercise is not about perfection, but about presence. It teaches me to be fully aware of the unity between thought and motion, to recognize that every action is an opportunity to express the deeper power that lies within. Another practice that has served me well is what I call the bamboo mind. Just as bamboo bends gracefully in the wind without breaking, I strive to remain flexible in the face of life's challenges. When emotions surge, when anger, frustration, or fear rise like a storm, I remind myself to be like bamboo, to yield, to bend, and to adapt without losing the strength of my roots. It is a practice of both surrender. I have learned that true strength is not about holding rigidly to one's ideas, but about allowing oneself to flow with the currents of life, to adjust to every twist and turn without breaking. Daily discipline is the final cornerstone of this practice. Mastery over the mind is not achieved overnight. It is the result of consistent, whether I am training, meditating, or simply observing the world around me, I treat every moment as an opportunity to reinforce this unity of mind and body. I no longer chase the illusion of raw physical power. Instead, I focus on nurturing the inner harmony that makes every movement an expression of my true self. Over time, this discipline transforms every challenge into a lesson, every setback into a stepping stone towards deeper self-mastery. Now, my friends, as I stand before you and share this journey, I invite you to look deeply into the nature of strength itself. For many years, I believed that strength was synonymous with muscle and technique, that a perfectly honed body was the ultimate weapon. But through my trials, my failures, and my moments of profound vulnerability, I have come to understand that strength is an illusion when it is divorced from the mastery of the mind. True power lies in the ability to see beyond the physical, to recognize that every limitation you perceive is but a mirage, a barrier created by your own doubts and fears. It is in the stillness of an empty mind that the greatest wisdom is found. When you let go of your preconceived notions and allow yourself to be as fluid as water, you tap into a force that is boundless and enduring. Like a river that carves its way through the mountains, your mind has the power to reshape your reality, not through brute force, but through persistence, understanding, meditation, Remember the lesson of the overflowing cup. Just as a cup filled to the brim cannot accept another drop, a mind cluttered with rigid beliefs cannot receive the truth of its own potential. You must empty your cup. Embrace the practice of letting go. Stand before the mirror each day and meet yourself with honesty and openness. Be like the bamboo that bends in the wind, flexible, resilient, and deeply rooted in the wisdom that lies within. My friends, strength as you once knew it, measured by the physical and the tangible, is an illusion. It is a seductive myth that blinds us to the reality of our true power. That power is not in the perfection of your fists, nor in the rigid form of your body. It is in the unity of mind and body, in the seamless integration of thought and action. It is the art of letting go, of adapting like water, and of finding that unyielding inner force that transcends all obstacles. I call upon you today to challenge your own beliefs about strength. Do not be fooled by the superficial metrics of power. Instead, delve into the depths of your inner self. Free your mind of the chains of doubt and fear, and allow the truth to flow in. When you see beyond the illusion, you will discover that the only true measure of strength is not how hard you hit, but how deeply you have learned to master your own spirit. This is my legacy, a message born from the fires of my own struggles, a truth forged through both victory and defeat. It is a call to each of you. Learn to see beyond the illusion of strength. Embrace the journey of self-mastery, for in doing so you unlock the most potent weapon of all, the unity of your mind and body. It is here in this harmonious convergence that you will find the courage to face every challenge, the wisdom to overcome every obstacle, and the strength to transform not only your own life, but the world around you. So, my friends, let us walk this path together. Let us empty our cups. Let our minds be as fluid as water, and let our bodies express the deepest truths of our inner selves. For in that space of true freedom, you will realize that strength, in its purest form, is not an external attribute. It is the essence of who you are. It is the quiet, unyielding force that flows through every breath, every movement, and every thought. In the end, the journey toward true power is not marked by external conquests, but by the inner battles you have overcome. It is not the scars on your body, but the wisdom etched into your soul. Every moment of pain, every setback has been a teacher, guiding you toward the realization that what you once thought was strength is merely a shadow of the potential that lies within. Now, as I conclude my message to you, remember this. Strength is an illusion when measured only by the physical. The real power, the enduring, transformative power, resides within the mastery of your mind. Learn to let go, learn to adapt, and let your true self emerge in every action you take. Embrace the path of self-mastery, for it is the path that leads to a life of boundless potential. My friends, the time has come to cast aside the illusions of strength and embrace a new understanding, a truth that transcends the physical and speaks to the very core of your being. This is the legacy I leave you, a call to awaken, to transcend the limitations of the past, and to harness the limitless power that resides within your mind. Remember always, the greatest victory is not found in conquering others, but in conquering yourself. Let your life be a testament to the idea that the only true strength is the strength of your spirit, the clarity of your mind, and the unity of your whole being. As you step forward, may you discover that every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every moment a chance to become more fully yourself. For in the art of letting go, you find the path to true freedom, a freedom where the illusion of strength dissolves, and only the power of a masterful mind remains. My friends, as you continue on this journey, carry these words with you. Strength is an illusion, but the mastery over your mind is real. Embrace this truth, and you will unlock the true potential of your life. Empty your cup, flow like water, and let the power of your inner self transform every facet of your existence. In that transformation lies the ultimate secret, the realization that the only true limit is the one you choose to believe in. Rise above the illusion, stand tall in the light of your newfound wisdom, And let every breath, every movement, be a declaration of the unity between your body and mind. For when you master this union, you become an unstoppable force, a living embodiment of the eternal truth that power, real power, comes not from force, but from the unyielding mastery of yourself. This is my truth, my journey, and now I share it with you. May it inspire you to look beyond the superficial measures of strength, to challenge every notion of limitation, and to embrace the infinite potential that lies within. For in the end, it is not the strength of your arm that defines you, but the strength of your heart, the clarity of your mind, and the courage to forge your own path in this vast, ever-changing world.